back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, and most importantly, welcome to my very first sit down with me. Today I'm having a special guest. He's been a friend for over 5 years and he inspires me in so many ways. This guy right here is a typical definition of a jack of all trades. I mean, looking at his story, there's so many things that he does. He's a student, he's a CEO of Cyclas Fashions, he's a poet. I mean, he does so much, and sometimes I wonder, how does he do it? How is he able to actually balance all these things together? So now I'll let him introduce himself to us, and then we can dive deep into how he's able to juggle all these things together and tell us exactly who he is.
Thank you so much, Annette, for hosting me on our channel. Everyone that is watching us, we are delighted to be with you. I'm nervous, my first. Yeah. My name is Kalungi Clever. Those are the ones on my national ID. I'm a student of architecture and I'm doing my last semester starting March.
What university?
Makerere University. Yeah, I'm a student of Makerere University, student of architecture from College of Engineering, Design, Art and Technology, and I'm going to be doing my last semester starting in March.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. Come a long
How many
way.
years?
5 years. Solid 5 years. Yes. I'm also a poet. I go by Kalinda Luzi. Kalinda is my cultural name. I'm of the Ngeye clan. And yeah, I'm a poet, a spoken word artist. I've begun poetry.
Yeah, I've watched so many of his
performances.
I mean, really amazing.
Yeah, thank you. I am also a stylist. I'm a co-owner, COO of Cyclas Fashions. I work with a friend of mine, a coursemate, Steven. Yeah, and we did in gentleman outfits. We dress you in vintage outfits, in gentle outfits, and we custom tailor suits at Cyclas Fashions. You can check us out on Instagram. We also deal in ladies' outfits, office. Yeah, we can make you look like Annette here. Beautiful. So, yeah, I think you can call myself an entrepreneur, a stylist, public speaker because I like talking. I've emceed, I write, poetry, and I also perform. Yeah, and I'm an architect in the making. Yeah.
Okay. Where does your story begin?
Bath. You can say bath.
No, okay. I know that you've been a student at Makerere, and of course that one happens when you've just left high school. But now, I'm talking about being a poet and then into fashion. There's actually even a time when you were doing burgers, hot dogs, and all those things. I mean...
Yeah, I sold hot dogs with a couple of friends of mine. I sold something I called a banana toast here in Makerere in the different halls of residence. I've sold popcorn and tea. My entrepreneurial journey, I can say, started when I was in P7. Yeah, my mom got me a popcorn machine to sell in my back, and the first money I made, I used it to buy my case when I was joining Yango College. Yeah.
Wow.
My architecture journey also started in P7 when I decided that I would do architecture. Then my poetry journey started in lockdown in 2020. Yeah, I used to write my things, but I would keep them to myself in my notes in my phone. And then
how long was that?
That was okay. I used to even write when I was in high school, definitely. But I started reading more, and in the COVID lockdown, I had more time to put them together, to go through and read them, yeah. And when I think it was a month into the lockdown, and then I started doing it as poetry. And around February the 14th, a week before, Kahaka Davison, he's also a poet. Yeah.
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah.
I know them.
he invited me to perform on one of his very first podcast, and it was a Valentine's podcast themed. Yeah, and I did a poem called Celebrating You. That was the very first time I did poetry. Remember, my entrepreneurial journey was already going on.
Yeah.
And I was selling the hot dogs, Governatos. Before that time, in my year 1, year 2, and year 3. Yeah. And yeah, I can say my architecture journey was way back. So all this, to me, I found that I had to just incorporate them into my architecture. The main thing, yeah. I would say being called clever. Yeah.
I know, by the way, that's... Wow, your parents must have been really sharp.
That was a heavy story on its own. The name was taken away from me for a certain period of time. Then it was given to me, and I didn't have to own it until when I could actually own it. When I performed well in school, after senior 4, then after senior 6, I had to own the name after then. So I guess it's something I had to carry.
Okay. So what drives you actually when you're doing all these things? Because I know I've tried doing so many things, but sometimes the drive is not there. Like sometimes you just feel like, why am I even stressing? So what really drives you in doing all these things? Because I get to a point where I see that you're really active and you're good at all these things, and I'm like,
all over the place.
Wow. Yeah. How do you do that?
Let me take you through a day. My day.
Tell me actually, how does your day go?
My day starts the day before. Starts the night before. I think about cyclass fashion.
You guys, are you saying if you want to be rich, your day should begin before? Not.
Should have started yesterday. Okay.
You know, people sleep till 7 a.m. Like why? The guys they begin the day before.
Okay. Yeah. So, cyclass fashion. The journey for cyclass fashion started. I hadn't talked about that. It started last year. Yeah, when it was in bazaar selling popcorn and tea. Yeah, in the Makerere bazaar at Mitchell Hall. Then Steven was selling these outfits, pants and shirts.
I remember I visited that bazaar.
Yes. So he comes up to me. I was at a club. Then he pitches to me that we can expand. He wanted to expand, so he calls me on board, and we become partners. Then we attended our first. We sold around the university in different halls, Mitchell Hall, UH, University Hall, and Sibira Hall. So people got our contact, we spread them, posting, reposting.
Actually, I've been seeing so many people post your content, so many people buy.
That is the first way you can actually spread it as much as you.
Wow.
With your friends, and social media is all over the place. People spend more time on their phones than anything else.
I got to realize that of recent you got a location.
Yeah. We got a location, and now we are located just opposite Small Gate, at Wandegear, Makerere Small Gate, the one at University Hall.
So initially, were you getting your stock from someone and then keeping it where you were staying, or you could buy on order? How are you doing it?
We would keep them in our rooms.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so we had the stock there in room. A customer comes, sold to them in room. We deliver to them wherever they wanted. But now the location is helpful. Yeah. But going back to what you asked me about how I juggle everything. The day before, usually I plan my week. I write down what I want to do within the week. I need to get a diary. Get a diary. which has the weekly
plug
thing.
Meanwhile.
You have a plug. Definitely hook me up. Yeah. So I write the diary. I draw the lines. Monday, Tuesday, all the days of the week, and I put the activities there. I make sure architecture has the most time. Meanwhile, I've done this since my second year. I always do this.
You guys, this guy is an actual definition of a jack of all trades. Like, wow.
I don't know. Some things I find that we have to. You develop your own style. When you discover yourself, it sticks to you more than when someone tells you to do it. You discover your own way. So
you don't have to be like anyone. You just have to do your thing.
Exactly. And it might be hard in the beginning, but it's better to just take the first step and see where that goes. So when I make the weekly plan, I have architecture most of the time. I read books in the morning. I make sure I read books in the morning, the written ones. Then I listen to an audio book when I'm cooking. Then I start.
By the way, this guy is very good at cooking. Ella, are you single meanwhile?
No, I have a girlfriend.
Sorry. Sorry, guys.
She's a beautiful woman. Anyway, but yeah.
I like.
Why blushing? Let's continue. Yeah, but I cook when I'm listening to an audiobook, and then I start architecture. Mostly when my mind is active. I check by the shop, I post. I make sure I post before I start work on my social medias about cyclist fashions, about poetry. If I have a
What time do you said you begin your day?
I wake up at between 6 to 6:30.
Oh, that's when you wake up.
Yes, that's when.
What are those things that you feel have really
Challenged
been
me.
challenging? Yes.
Sleep routine. I feel like I need my sleep, but in many cases, I can be called in 2 different places, and the time between shifting from, say, cyclist fashions delivering to a client to poetry, to go somewhere for a show, is hectic. It's just impossible. So I find that I'm thinking so much, and by 10 p.m. I'm tired and exhausted, and then starting the next day can be so hard. Even planning it can be so hard. So the juggling, everyone sees that it's going on well and all, but the work that goes around it, what goes around it, so much thinking and working.
So literally, you just have to keep going regardless.
Yeah, you have to keep going regardless. Just like over yesterday, but one, I was delivering to a client, so I'm getting a phone call from this side, then I'm being called for a show. That was yesterday. And
but you can see that you are able to create opportunities on both ends.
In the back of my mind, I always know that it is possible.
Yeah.
I just say it's possible.
So, yes. Are you comfortable asking about how much you earn?
Yeah, it's okay.
How much do you think you've made from poetry and cyclist fashion? So far.
So far.
Yeah.
I can say from poetry.
No, generally. Yeah.
Generally. Because all these things started in lockdown. Cyclist fashion started last year, 2022, in March. So up to now, if I say in the span of this 1 year, I've been doing poetry, cyclist fashions, and architecture. I had architecture.
Wow! By the way, there is also architecture.
Yeah, I can see that I've made around 8 million.
Wow, you guys, that's 8 million.
Yeah, I haven't sat down to calculate.
You still depend on your parents?
Yes, my parents come through for me so much when it's tight.
Yeah.
They come through for me and they encourage.
Okay. That's good. So, I know we talked so much, but what are the key things that you would advise anyone who would want to do all these things at some point, or someone who would want to set up something? Yeah, what are those things that you can tell them at this moment?
There's never a right time to start. There's never a right time to start. And funny thing is, these things will be the same. Everyone will tell you the same things. And hearing them again and again, I think taking the first step, actually, be the first step.
Taking the first step. There is no manual to all these things.
There is no manual. So you just have to start. If you think of something, you just have to start. And usually in the start, you might be alone. If you want to cover more ground, you move with people. This journey hasn't been. Yes, this journey hasn't been alone. My friends, my architecture friends, Douglas, Tina, Hannah, Martina, they've been there for me. Steven, so many people in poetry. I can say Davison, who's the poet. People have encouraged me, and I hang on them when I need advice.
Okay.
So yeah, partnering with people, you have to always just start, and then you have to flood your mind with knowledge, with content, so that you're called to different places. So that
you have to be creative. You have to always be on the lookout.
People will see value so many times. So flood that sea of value within you with books, videos, YouTube. Everything is on YouTube.
Literally.
Yeah, and also like speak it into yourself. I've been listening to David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me, and he teaches us how to to overcome your mind. Yes, overcome your mind. And when you have a powerful mind, you can do anything. Your body can change to it. So everything is in here. You speak to yourself that I can do this, and you definitely will.
Okay, just remind these guys your social media handles, and then you can follow.
On LinkedIn, by the way, you need a LinkedIn account. Yeah, business comes there. On LinkedIn, I'm Charles Kalungi. On Instagram, I'm Kalungi C, or you can search Clever Kalungi. On Twitter, Clever Kalungi, and Facebook, Clever Kalungi. Cyclass Fashions is Cyclass Fashions. Yeah, you can just search Cyclass Fashions, CYKLASS Fashions, and you can find us in Uganda, in Kampala, in one day. It was nice being hosted on this channel. Linking up with you guys, it's been amazing. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for hosting me.
So that's it from him. I'm so glad he has been my very first guest on this channel. This thing has been pending for over a year, but I'm glad I am getting it out of the way, and I'm really, really proud of us. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. Also, just in case you would love to have a sit-down conversation with me, all my details are in the description box, and I would love to hear from you. And until next time, see you guys very soon.